feet. It's our final game in this best of three between Grayhound and MVP Elfish Guy 11. Come on, you must have been surprised by that last result. How are you feeling about this one?
I was just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, but very rarely am I surprised by anything, Ben, not least by you a lot of the time. But regardless, it is going to be map 3 here, Kevin, and I'm very excited. I'm glad that we're actually here into map 3 because this series is one that I've been waiting for quite a while, even not just during the qualifiers and not just during this tournament, but we haven't seen MVP and Grayhound play against each other a whole lot. When they do, it always tends to be a good matchup, and once more, it's delivering.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate at the end. It is going to be Cobblestone. I mean, regardless of what Ian and Ben say about Cobblestone, I think it does hold a special place in all of our hearts, especially for Dragon Lore drop. So this is going to be the final commiseration, or whatever you want to say. This is the final hurrah. It is fitting. We're going to see it for the final time before it might come back in 20... I don't even know.
2020 probably.
Back. I just don't want to see Dust 2 back. I'm going to be that person that says it. Dust 2 is disgusting. Get it out of the pool. I want Cobblestone back as soon as possible.
Wow.
But regardless, we are getting Cobblestone. It's my dream. Maybe not anyone else's dream, but I'm glad.
You're glad? Right. Well, the
happy.
information I have for you, Kevin, is that Grayhound won the knife, and they have chosen to start on the T side. Makes some sense. To be honest, I don't think it matters too much.
I think it actually matters quite a bit these days because we see on Cobblestone, this is actually unusual pick coming out from Grayhound. We do see a lot more teams starting on the CT side. Grayhound want to keep the tempo up. They want to be dictating the pace, and this is why they've decided to start the T side, because they want to go fast. They want to be making MVP second guess, and as a result, you're just relying on the firepower that you just came out of a nuke. You were able to hit so many good shots with the AK. Let's not go back to the CT side. Let's go on the T side and just continue the pressure.
Definitely a good point, and I actually agree with you. So, let's see what the guys on Grayhound are going to be able to do on this T side. Again, it's going to come down to if they can start off really, really well here. If MVP get off to a great start on that CT side, get the first pistol, gun rounds going their way, economy's built up, maybe double AWP comes out there as well. They can control that plat side of the map and the A-bomb site side of the map with those 2 AWPs. Could start to become a little bit shakier there for Grayhound, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the case. Let's find out. All I'm doing right now is just waiting.
Yep, this
is here into the pistol round.
Yeah, like I said, a long weekend of Counter-Strike. Excellent Counter-Strike, and this is going to be the final map. And it's all going to end on a map that we're not going to ever see again, maybe in competitive. So this better be an absolute banger between Grayhound and MVP to determine who's the EPL APAC finalists.
Well,
winners.
You already know they're both the finalists. But
winner finalists.
Yes, the winner. That's the one that we're looking for right now. The 2 teams pretty evenly matched coming into this one, both in good form as well. So it's sure to be a good map. Grayhound definitely do have the momentum, though. That's something that might be weighing on the shoulders of MVP. Sign's gone for a bit of an interesting buy here with the CZ and the grenade.
Yeah, it's going to do a lot of damage as well. He's able to get out and look at the damage done. The CZ can just mow these guys down. The flashbang was good from the CT side. Well, damage has been done on the back of the CZ. The Glocks, they are trying to chase HSK out of this pesky coop position, but they may not be able to do so. 2 low members, they're still dealing it out. Dick Stacey able to find Zeph. A good shot coming out from HSK. Still needs to find 2 more members. He's got support from B platform.
Yeah, just Dexter with the HP to play with here for Grayhound. Gratisfaction is very low indeed. They're just having so much trouble actually getting rid of HSK. This crossfire very, very potent right now for MVP PK, and inevitably Grayhound do end up losing that round. It just seemed like there was too much for them to deal with. That crossfire was too strong. The bomb was in a really, really awful position for them to try and retake. So the pistol round goes the way of MVP. What's the option for Grayhound? Force buy?
I think Force Buy is a very acceptable position to be in at this stage. CZs can be very, very powerful in drop room, inside these close quarter combat positions. And for MVP, really Zion picking up that HE grenade and just doing the bulk of the damage of the CZ made the pistol work a lot easier for the rest of the players on the B bomb site. So good to see that from MVP. Finally taking a pistol, maybe getting some confidence back. But for Grayhound right now, they are looking not just to do damage, they really want this round to reset the CT economy and start dictating the tempo.
Absolutely, and they're going to be working their way through long in their efforts to take this round away from MVP PK. Got some presence into drop room as well, so it does look like it's going to be an A offensive for Grayhound, but it's going to be really relying on 2 angles of attack. If one goes down, the other can't really win it. It needs to both succeed here for Grayhound, both the drop and the A bomb site hit.
I mean, in terms of the players being in drop, they need to be making a little bit more noise, or if Grayhound make a lot of noise, I'd say that they should go back into the B bomb site instead, because MVP, they're over-rotated a little bit here. I don't know what to make of 3 people in the A bomb site so early on in terms of the mid-game. When you have no presence in B, I guess it's acceptable, but you can always lose drop room, and that's a big danger. Dexter's jumped up, and that's what's making MVP think there might be one in here, so you can see the rotation accordingly. But it is going to be a B-side hit. It's going to be hard, though. Dick Stacey's gone down. They don't have this extra number to work with.
Yeah, Ocast also going down, but he's in the drop as opposed to dropping on the floor. Grayhound still with 4 to play with, and now it is time to release the Hounds indeed onto the B-bomb site. There's not much time left to play with. They're going to have to execute this one flawlessly, and Zion has all but shut that round down with just that kill onto Malta. It's going to take them a little bit of time to collect the bomb, and Glow buying even more time there for MVP PK, but some kills go the way of Grayhound. They might still yet get that bomb down. Urcast just won't get the plant gone. Zion comes away with 3. Not a bad round for MVP, but they do lose a few guns.
That's all right, because they knew they're up against the CZs and they've denied the bomb plant, so they know that their money is going to be in a favorable situation come to the later stages of, well, I shouldn't even say later stages as half, but come about 3 or 4 rounds time. So not going to be too particularly perturbed as Grayhound just going to be on the eco, maybe just trying to find out where MVP really are stacking the numbers and how they rotate. That's what you want to be doing in your pistol rounds. Just try to figure out how the CT side is playing. But Solo, he's actually pushed out long A, and he's going to be coming in from behind if it isn't for Zeph actually taking 2 kills. Now Solo's coming from behind, and a pretty routine cleanup. The problem, though, is that the kills went in the favor of the rifles, not the SMGs for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem, but it's kind of like a first world problem, isn't it, Kev? Because you're still getting the kills, you're still getting cash, you're just not getting as much as you really could.
Yeah, but you could be getting $1,200 instead of $600.
Yeah,
I mean, Jordan,
I
what are you going to pick, $600 or $1,200? It's a pretty easy question.
Depends what the context is.
Well, not killing people.
Okay, well, that would be, yeah, that's the start. No real interest in doing that. Anyway, MVP, they chose for the 600.
Oh, Close got the Mag 7. I'm loving it. Goodbye,
Very
Dexter.
close.
No, not yet. Come on,
Third
Glow.
time's the charm, third time's the charm. Don't worry about it, Kev.
I've seen a Mag 7 delete someone before from this position.
Yeah.
But Glow, I think, has missed his window of opportunity, or the doorway of opportunity. Dexter's fallen back. Glow just needs to back off from here. There's no way he can hold this. I mean, he can buy as much time as he wants. Grayhound is just going to sit one here, and they're just going to try and move around the A-bomb site instead. And then what do you do as Glow? You got a Mag 7 on the retake.
You rely on your teammates to pick up the victory for you, because retaking with a Mag 7 is not going to be too fun. Still, though, MVP have a couple of players on A. They might need to rotate another one across shortly, though, as there is an offensive headed in that direction from Grayhound. Solo's just going to shoulder peek with the knife.
So jittery as well in terms of the MVP players don't know what's really going on. Glow can't proceed beyond that threshold until a certain time where he's got to be making a risk. Dick Stacey, he's also not presenting any opportunities for the CT side. It's a game of chicken right now at long A. And who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be clucking mad? Who's going to be going home in defeat? So far, neither of them.
Well, Solo's just going to drop back into the site. Tries to get a smoke down for himself, but it pops too late. Dick Stacey gets himself a free kill. And up onto the APC is Urcast. Zeph is dropped. Not a lot left to be done here for poor old Glow with that Mag 7. We talked about it. Not going to be having too much fun retaking with that. So he's just going to try and find a cheeky corner here and see if he can find a kill. Maybe upgrade to an AK and get some cashola in the bank. It's not looking likely, though, for him, given the positioning of Grayhound.
And Dick Stacey, already 2 good opening kills. Maybe this is the start of his dominating performance, because we saw yesterday he was the critical difference, or either the day before on Cobblestone. He was the one doing the bulk of the damage against Boot Dreamscape. And if he's able to continue this form coming into this match against MVP, it would make Grayhound's job a lot easier.
Yep. So a bit of an odd situation now for MVP. They do have the money to invest into this round. Zion can drop a gun. Glow can get the... Or sorry, Solo can get the AWP. Glow could also drop it from us here, which it looks like he has done. He'll keep the Mag 7, one would assume.
Yeah, Mag 7, it just feels like Cobblestone is one of the rare maps that the Mag 7 actually can have a good presence in drop room because of the ability to always force a close battle. As a T, if you want the position, it is going to be a close battle, and what a shot coming out from Solo.
Yeah.
It's through the edge of the door, but instantly there's a return. Dexter picking up the pace, and Glow, he's pushing in right now. He's trying to jump up and down, trying to find the headshot, but the pellet spray is going to go astray, and Glow...
That's the rush of blood to the head.
Yep, he wanted to go in fast to try to catch the T's off guard from behind, but Grayhound weren't committing on the back of the pick on Zine, and as a result, it's actually 2 people down for MVP at the moment.
Would have been so magnificent if he would have come up with 2 kills there, but the fight goes the way of Grayhound. Dexter's now got control of the top side of drop. MVP have accordingly rotated their players across to the B bomb site, but
They've gambled.
with only 3, might still be quite difficult to hold off.
I mean, this is really down to whether or not they pick up HSK and how many he's allowed to get from this position, because Grayhound are still committing over to the B bomb site. I think this is a correct call. 45 seconds left. They are actually going to bail out of this.
Well, they've got time.
They've got time, but you don't ever want to be in a situation where, oh, we think we've got time, but then the bomb carrier gets denied, you lose it, and then it spills all over and it becomes like you're dropping spaghetti out of your pockets.
Well, that is something that we actually saw a couple of times for Greyhounds in this matchup.
Don't think we're seeing it in this round.
Molotovs, though.
Yeah, we're not seeing it in this round.
Nope.
MVP should just save right now. 3 on 4, you lock behind utility. Admittingly, Grayhound just used 3 Molotovs in vent, so 2 more Molotovs that you could have used for the retake.
More fire equals better. As far
Not
as
in this
Greyhound's
case.
concerned.
Not in this case.
Still, that's the round there for Greyhound. And they're progressing along quite nicely, but still not really managing to put a huge dent into the economy of the CTs. So 2 gun save, 3 from the last and 3 from this. MVP are continuing to keep at least some gun presence there for themselves. Obviously next round, we'll see whether or not they decide to force into it with some pistols, some armor, or maybe even drop some guns.
I mean, they can probably get some Mag 7s again, so maybe Glow will have another crack with a Mag.
Yeah, HSK can drop a rifle.
I don't think HSK should drop at this stage because... Oh, Solo's actually retrieved an AWP, so this is a prime opportunity. I think Solo always had the AWP, actually, so actually, believe what I just said, drop a rifle, you've got to buy here.
So Greyhound still hunting for that reset. Glow again is going to go for the Mag 7. This is the 3rd round that he's had it, so 3rd time lucky, as they say.
Surely they won't boost Glow up again because that feels like a bit of insanity as now. Ooh, Solo does manage to get the pick on Urcast, and I don't know if the flashbang was good enough to actually spot how many members were there. Malta, you can't just be coming out through B plat just dry like that. There's no flashbang to assist you. That's going to be easy pickings for the CTs.
They smoke it off. Dick Stacey almost goes down there as well, just to the spray of HSK. But that could not have gone really better for MVP. Solo just so quick. Must have had a spawn for it. Decides to jump up on the platform, gets himself the pick, and Greyhound, all of a sudden, they're back at a pretty big deficit here, trying to clear out the drop room. Glow has given up some semblance of control to it.
Oh, this is still so hard for T-side to take. You can take drop, and then what do you do from there? To exit out of flower beds, there's going to be a Mag 7. To come out on the B site, there's already a numbers deficiency, and you can see Gratisfaction just going to be pushing off anyone from B platform, but no one's already there from the CT side. They're just moving around accordingly. They've got one boosted up. They've also got one on the bomb site, just playing dynamically around. And this actually might be a weakness if Gratisfaction's able to find the pick, but no, he does not look at boost in time, and just single-handedly, Greyhound just being picked apart from some plays of MVP.
Yep, 1 by 1. They have fallen like flies. 30 seconds here for Dexter and Dick Stacey to decide what they would like to do. They do want to make their way towards the B bomb site, but Zion has put himself in a very nice position by the broken wall. The flash comes out for Dexter, but it does not affect Zion. Dick Stacey's position is also known. A nice clean up there from Zion.
What a madman. Zion's just pushing through enemy Molotov because he just wants the kill, and why not? You've got the confidence. Go for it. So, Greyhound, able to keep a lot of their people alive in the last 2 rounds means that they can buy pretty comfortably into this, but the bank accounts will be depleted a little bit, and for MVP, actually picking up that victory without dropping... I don't think they dropped anyone as a matter of result. Just one person means that they're going to be very comfortable buying up into this. And Glow, enough of the Mag 7 shenanigans. He's pulled out the A4, and I'm glad to see that, because he needed the A4 eventually. Solo, this is why you get head armor sometimes, because you can get to lead it through a wall. And for anyone who's arguing with me in the past saying that $350 is useless, there you are.
There you are.
You're wrong.
Not to mention when Solo's got $2,500. I mean, yeah, obviously you want to try and save as much cash as you can on the CT side. But in a round like this, you could probably say that the head armor would have been
it would have saved his life. I mean, he'd be down low, but he'd be alive and be a contributing factor.
Anyway, not the case. And Dick Stacey's able to find HSK as well, which swings it in the favor of Grayhound. However, 2 players on the long side of the map. MVP, nice stack there. Zeph does get 2, and that makes it doable here for Zion. He's up 7-2 right now, so he's in pretty good form here on Cobblestone. Coming up from ramp as well is pretty much the ideal position for him to actually come from. Can't quite deny the bomb plant, but he's got a lot of information there onto Malta. I don't think he actually ended up spotting out Malta, so it might come back to bite him as he does not know that there's a player on long. Gratisfaction gets the spot. So he turns around and gets Malta, but not able to transfer the shot onto Gratisfaction. Round goes the way of Grayhound.
Expensive round for both sides, and MVP, once again, the money situation is looking a little bit poor because, yep, there it is. 81 damage with the headshot. Jeez. Through the wall as well. Yeah, so MVP's money situation is not looking great, and you can see once again another Force Buy coming out. I say Force Buy because Glow's got the MP9 and there's a Mag 7 in the hands of HSK this time.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is a Force Buy.
Even though there are 3 rifles, 3 M4s, one of them's just been
What do you mean?
Dropped.
There's only 2.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was just a mental blank.
What?
There's just a single one.
There's 1. I don't know where you got 3 from.
Grayhound, they're magicians. They just make rifles disappear.
Make those M4s disappear. Anyway, Grayhound are doing a pretty good job right now. MVP PK, they've invested everything into this one. So, if they end up losing it, which it does look like they are on the slippery slope to doing so, they're going to be back onto an eco. Grayhound is progressing along quite nicely so far on their T side. Full stack over on towards the A bomb site for MVP. There is, of course, one in connector, but not really on the B side of the map. HSK has the Mag 7 there, so I'm not sure really what kind of use he's going to get out of that if he ends up having to retake a bomb site.
0, pretty much, if you want to retake either B and A. But if you're holding a nice line, then Mag 7 could do a lot of damage. I mean, I don't think he can do much damage from this close alley position. He's trying to get his way close to the B plant. We've seen actually the Mag 7 be very effective here. The flashbangs need to be good from the T side, but here it is. Here comes the Mag 7 spray down. Zion's here as well. Zion gets taken down, but the Mag 7, it's continuing. Dexter finally does manage to shut it down, and Gratisfaction steps up with the AWP. That could have been very scary because HSK, that could have been 3, and that would have been anyone's.
There definitely was a moment there where MVP could have ended up winning that round, and Grayhound would have had their hearts in their throat. But in the end, Grayhound do manage to navigate it quite safely, and they correctly recognize that MVP are going to be on an eco here. So Urcast buying into the Mac-10 and Dick Stacey, the UMP.
So as MVP eco in this round, HSK actually getting the 2 kills with the Mag 7 means that in the next round, he should be able to pick up the AWP as well, which is going to be pretty sweet for MVP, really, considering they had a full investment in the previous round. But even with a full B-site stack, it's going to have to be very good pistol work coming out from the P250s and the USPs for the MVP side to actually take this victory. Oh, here's a flashbang. They're trying to make a play, but it hasn't blinded off Dick Stacey. He's able to get 2. Now they're able to identify exactly where all the CT members are, and it's just a cleanup on the back of SMGs. A nice attempt from MVP. Zion is still waiting, and the Gratisfaction looks around and goes,
"Hello.
Sure. What are you doing there?"
Yeah, actually, that's probably is what he did say. In the end, it wasn't a bad play really from MVP. It just didn't quite work out in their favor. Had it been a little bit better timed, had they done it a second earlier or maybe even a second later, we could have potentially seen Dick Stacey blinded up, and then MVP comes away with a couple of frags there in the drop room. Regardless, though, it was just an eco, so not really much to talk about there for MVP. And back onto another buy, you're correctly predicting. HSK has managed to get himself the AWP here, but there is a distinct lack of utility there for MVP. So, again, not an amazing buy here on CT. They really need to get 1 or 2 in a row just to build that economy up and put themselves in a safer position.
So Grayhound just going to be slowing things down, as Zeph is just going to cop a lined wall bang. I think, Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the Gratisfaction lining up the wall bang, going up into connector. That's why Zeph's already on 13 and pretty much just down for the count effectively. There's not much you can be doing there when you're on 13. A single bullet is just going to push you over.
Well, it's the difference between 4 guns and 5, so we'll see yet what Zeph can do.
Dex is an absolute nuisance being in drop because MVP, they can't really rotate an extra member off. Dex is able to sit here, and this is such a cheeky angle. CTs normally don't check this because it's... Yeah, even if Glow strafes across, I don't think you'll see Dexter's head. And Grayhound are actually just setting up for an ace-side hit right now, so MVP...
Yeah, they're going to have to rotate 2 people over from B, and that's where Dexter is going to be able to strike. The execute now coming out for Grayhound as we see the flashbangs come across. Smoke's in as well. Zeph's going to smoke off the site, though, which is not fairly typical, really. He's got low HP, but he just wants to play around behind this smoke. Play a bit of an off angle. Might be able to make it work here. As Grayhound make their way up into the bomb site. Already seen Malta pass the APC, but Glow is waiting for him in vent. Zeph does go down quite quickly. Solo is there for the trade, however. 14 seconds on the clock here. Kevin, this is looking a bit dangerous now for Grayhound, but Solo does go down at the right time. And Dexter out from connector also at the right time. But still 2 players to deal with, and the bomb just goes down. Dexter as well. It's a 1 versus 2 here. Gratisfaction. Big round for him to try and clutch out, but already looking for those 1v1s.
Yeah, so both CTs just need to come out at the right time, but Zine, oh, he's come out just incorrectly, and Gratisfaction trying to drop the smoke and get away, but he might have needed a rifle instead.
Yeah.
HSK just going to have to go for the defuse right now. He doesn't have the kit, so he's just going to have to stick it, and he's going to have to look for the AWP on the site that Gratisfaction had afterwards. It should be somewhere around default or cannons, but a good round coming out from MVP. You can see what Dexter wanted to do. He showed presence and
He's got the AWP.
Yeah, he's got the AWP. That was at cannons that Gratisfaction dropped. Dexter wanted to go, all right, you've seen me, so you're going to think I'm going to relocate. I'm going to wait 4 seconds and catch you as you're rotating in. But they're waiting. MVP are relying on the fact that Dexter would go for that aggression, and that is why it was reset down to a 2-on-1. Gratisfaction had a great opportunity, but coming so close, you don't know if someone's going to be jumping out of Juliet, which is why he looked away with a smoke grenade, and that was it. That was done for. If he had the rifle out, that could have been anything. It's still going to be a buy round for Grayhound. Their buy is looking better than MVP's, admittingly, because there was 2 MP9s on the board. But this is actually a great chance for MVP also to reset Grayhound for the first time in a very long time.
Indeed, but MVP also don't mind those SMGs. They always seem to be taking them when you otherwise would not. Solo has admittedly gone down quite quickly. And Zeph here really is kind of locked out of his own bomb site. MVP, in fact, the whole majority of them all locked out, and
yeah,
this might even just be a save.
Yeah, just back off at the moment. None of the Ts are going to go over aggressive either because their money situation isn't good. And really, that was a very, very loose round coming out from Grayhound, where a very soft round, because literally all Dick Stacey did was walk up mid, and the rest of the members of Grayhound walk up long A. They get 1 pick, and he was the only player there. Zeph was still trying to spot mid. And then by the time Dick Stacey was already up slope, Zeph can't get out. He has to fall off. He has no support because the long A player dies by himself. And that's it. Round done. Over and dusted.
Over and dusted, indeed. So
well, that's
Grayhound,
what Cobblestone's going to be. It's going to be
yeah. Done and dusted, I think, is what we're looking for there. But Grayhound, in the end, 6 up for them. They will still have a bye to contend with in the next round for MVP, though. So we'll just have a look and see how much money they're actually going to be able to get. Solo... He's going to have to wait for a drop from someone. That's a good kill out for Zion. Boosts his economy just a bit. Someone can give him a FAMAS if he wants, but I suspect Solo at this point is just saying, here, give me an MP9. I can make use of that. And indeed, that's going to be the case. Zeph has got himself an M4 there. So all in all, again, a pretty much similar buy to what we saw in the last round.
Yeah, Cobblestone's been, so far this has been a very passive game, and you actually see how much both sides want it in terms of how MVP are saving a lot. But here it is, a fast B-site attack.
Yeah, quick change up here from Grayhound. They've definitely just charged right into that B bomb site. It hasn't worked out, at least to start off with. Dick Stacey not able to get any entries there. Zion also drops Dexter, but the trades are starting to come back here. HSK overwhelmed. Gratisfaction having a big impact. The AWP and the Incendiary doing work, but Zeph has rotated across. He'll also be dropped. Urcast looking sharp there, and now just Solo versus Urcast. With an MP9 trying to play at this range, it's not going to be fun for Solo, not to mention the fact that he's been incendiaried out. He still wins the duel. Urcast can't quite land the shots. And MVP come away with the round. It's an expensive one, but a round nonetheless.
Yeah, and look at the economy on Grayhound as well. It's looking mightily shaky, where if Gratisfaction invests in the AWP, it would have meant that Urcast may not be dropped to Khalil. So Gratisfaction is going to opt for the AK. Khalil's going to come out for Urcast. And what a round coming out from Solo. Able to take down Gratisfaction, able to also defeat Urcast in the 1-on-1. Little shaky there from Urca. As Solo just shoulder spotting. Yeah. Looks like Grayhound just upping the tempo at the moment. They want to be coming in fast and furious, but with that incendiary grenade, looks like they do have to slow down. Can't just be drifting their way to victory.
Yeah, need to just shore up a few things if they want to play that quickly as well, because MVP, they did answer to it quite nicely. So Grayhound have defaulted back to that slower style that has netted them fairly reasonable success so far on Cobblestone. Ultra clearing all the angles here out on long. We've still got Dexter lurking around drop.
Yeah, but look at where MVP have put all their members already. They're stacking Sloat right now, and this is really, really potent positions to be in for Mars as well as SMG setup. Smoke comes in, and Dick Stacey, he's doing the right thing right now by sitting by the door, because if a flashbang comes in, you're going to have a bad time, and a flashbang might be coming forward soon for the CTs to try to find an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Malta also playing anti-flash just for a moment there.
It's always a fine timing between the two.
But no one deciding to push off it. So another smoke down there for MVP, just to waste a little bit more of Grayhound's time. That's not a bad smoke at all. Very late on in the piece. We'll keep Grayhound just stuck behind it.
And they have to explode. Explode onto the bomb site. 30 seconds left. I mean, the CTs don't have a read of what's going on. After hearing this from Dexter, flashbang versus flashbang. But Zeph with a FAMAS at close range is able to get two. With the assistance of Solo, might be able to find more. He will be fadeaway shot through the smoke as HSK at long A will be able to pick up the AWP. Or just the AK-47, should I say.
Cool guys don't look at the people they're killing.
Absolutely, but what a hold coming out from MVP. They gambled, they're rewarded, they come out double on top. Well, not really a double in terms of the score, but they could definitely convert it into their half now for Cobblestone.
Absolutely, this is MVP's chance to break out and come away with a 9 and 6 half. Grayhound obviously onto the eco here. The next buy is not going to be too bad, but MVP will have the advantage heading into that round. And it really did look like Grayhound were going neck and neck with MVP, but now the situation could change. Hasn't yet.
There's Grayhound. They're just going fast in through drop, but Glow's here with an MP9. And you know what an MP9 means against an anti-eco? It means fat stacks of cash. And it's going to go straight into the pockets of Glow. And Zion, luckily not being punished for looking at the wrong side of the smoke. But Grayhound, yeah, it doesn't really matter because they can still buy up in here. Here we are, final round of the half. I'd say MVP going to be on top after this half, even if it's an 8-7 or a 9-6.
Yeah, I agree. You'd probably be wanting a little bit more out of your T side. For Grayhound, though, it's not all over just yet. 8-7, 9-6. It's enough to work with in the second half. By no means are they out of it. MVP PK have found some success towards the end of this half. And Grayhound, they did try to play a little bit quicker. They've again slowed things down just a little bit. More of a default setup from them this time.
As MVP looked like an attempt to maybe take B plat control, but with the failed incendiary grenade, it means that they do have to back out. But look at the net that MVP, look at how MVP are playing Cobblestone at the moment. This is not something you regularly see, where you've got 3 people over on A, only 1 person to drop and 1 person to B statue. This is because Grayhound have not really executed over on the B bomb site. This may be the first time they do so, and MVP might be caught off guard. They just don't have the numbers here because Greyhounds, every single time, they're going over to the A-bomb site and just taking the map control.
Not much utility to play with here for MVP either if they do end up needing to retake or trying to hold off Grayhound. Counter utility is not really there for them. It's going to be mostly coming down to the aim, and Glow he just tucks himself into the corner here. Could be a big moment, but no, Malta well aware of it and does shut him down. Gratisfaction gets dropped, but Zine, under so much pressure on the bomb site, can only get 1. It's going to all come down to HSK, but his position is known. He's forced out there by Dick Stacey. Urcast finds himself alone now. And 1 versus 2, the bomb is nearby, but only 25 seconds. He does have a smoke. He wants to try and cross, or he wants to try and get the bomb down sneakily, but realistically, he needs to get one of these frags very quickly because Zeph is creeping up behind him. He needs to make the contact onto Solo, and he does, but now he has no idea where Zeph is. He peeks! And so he doesn't land the shot.
Yeah, he's just going to fake it once. Oh, he can't fake it the second time. He's faked it the second time. He's got no time. Zeph's got to commit on this. Zeph still wins the aim deal. Urcast unable to get the kill. And MVP going to be coming out in the half 9-6, but what a heart-stopping final round that was. Clutches, aim deals. Urkast is not going to be happy about that. That's 2 one-on-one deals that he's lost now. And normally expect Urkast to win those.
Yeah, definitely. Urkast has been a bit hot and cold throughout the Pro League finals. He's had some really, really good rounds and some really, really good maps, but also some where he hasn't necessarily had the impact. 9-6 though, MVP. It's a good half. And moving over onto their T side now, which generally speaking these days is considered a little bit more favorable than CT. It's a good scenario to find themselves in. Pistol round, pretty important for Grayhound. They don't want to be clawing their way back from a 12-6 deficit. 9 apiece though, it's definitely doable if they are able to pull it back to that.
But similarly for MVP, this is the best chance for them to shut it out. No more shenanigans. They just want to be going straight for the victory. I would say straight for the jugular, but I feel like that's a little bit overrated now. We've said that too many times. We need to find a new synonym.
I've never really said that. I think that's your thing.
Yeah, I like the gruesome things. Straight for the jugular, cut open the carotid artery, watch them bleed out. In Counter-Strike, that is, not in real life.
That's a bit extreme, Kev.
It's
Keep
true.
that to yourself next time, I think.
Hey, carotid artery is one of the major blood supplies to the heart. Well, not to the heart, to the head.
I'm glad, I guess.
Are you glad? I thought you were Jordan.
MVP. Have a bit of presence there over on long, but deciding that it's not where they want to end their journey. They're taking the scenic route around the cobblestone. Over towards B.
And Dick Stacey is just going to be spotting this, where the HSK's got the flashbang ready to push off the players on the angle. So the flashbang is absolutely great. Dick Stacey, no chance of actually opening up and even getting any information whatsoever. So here it is. Here's the drop room control coming out from MVP. They're busting fast out. Zeph, he's already straight through. Dexter just caught completely off guard, and Gratisfaction collapsed upon. And HSK, Urkast needs to find these kills, needs to find more. A single one, that's all right. They've got the rotation secured. A 3 and 4, the bomb plant still hasn't gotten down just yet.
It will be down quite safely, though. No one's really going to be able to deny that. Urkast quickly out past the APC, though. If he can take out Glow on the side, it'll establish a nice crossfire for Grayhound, but he himself will be taken down. So too is Dick Stacey and Malta. Glow with all 3 kills, and MVP up to 10. Grayhound now have to force their way into this round and have to find their way into the second half the hard way.
Yep, and that's just doing a hard slog through. And Dexter, you don't want to be seeing Dexter and Malta down. They've been the more consistent fraggers for Grayhound, and I think that's reflective of the stage right now, that Grayhound really aren't achieving success through team fighting. And MVP for SMGs and just the single AK-47, we are seeing a boost coming out from Grayhound. Urkast going to be sneaking around the edge of the smoke grenade to see if we can find any information.
Slow and steady wins the race as far as MVP is concerned. Not really jumping into anything that they are not aware of. Just making sure they can clear out as much as possible. Waiting for Grayhound to make that aggressive move. Grayhound has.
Yeah, but Urkast is hearing a lot of this information at the moment, where he's just listening around where the T's are moving, and he's going to go, all right, there could be some here, could be some over there. Glow, I think he is suspecting it. After all, he was boosted up with a Mag 7 earlier on the CT side.
Look at this push out from Gratisfaction though on long. He's going to get the information that there's no one over there, and Urkast hits a nice couple of shots onto HSK. Zine allows Dick Stacey quite a lot of time to try and get that frag, but in the end, it does look like MVP are going to be restoring the equilibrium here. Yep. And bringing it back to a fairly safe round. Looked dangerous for a moment, but all good.
Yeah, Grayhound just unfortunately unable to get the pistols in the close positions as they would have liked. Urkast started off nicely. They had the information, but by the time the information was relayed, it was too late. MVP already fast up B-plat, just busting out together. And they drop a Mac 10. That's all right. He just upgrades to an AK-47 instead. Increased in firepower. Grayhound just going to be going for a risky USP fast mid play. Look, it's only USPs. You got to try something to try to win it.
Yep, give it a crack.
Oh, they might actually be able to catch Zynos by surprise. The bomb's been dropped further back as well. They've got control of the bomb for now.
Thought they made a little bit too much noise there, but in the end, they actually do overwhelm Zyne. Still, seems like MVP aren't going to be able to come away with a round here. It all sort of hinges on Dexter finding something with the AK. And it doesn't seem like anyone from MVP is too keen to actually peek into him. They're waiting for that rotation to come across from Solo, who will get Gratisfaction and Urcast. A little bit of money in the bank there. Now Dexter also rolled over.
Yeah, so this is now Greyhound's round, a must-win round, I would say, in terms of stopping the momentum. MVP, I think, have won about 6 rounds in a row now, coming from that CT side, rolling the advantage forward. And no incendiary grenades, no kits for Grayhound as well means that you can't be playing the retake game. You've just got to be fighting it.
Gratisfaction looks like he wants to fight, playing aggressively towards long, but MVP is not going to give him the opportunity there. Setting themselves up. What are they doing? They must be faking out on A.
These grenades, I remember the old, if I remember correctly, smokes that go over to B. So it smokes off the door. And as a result, the CTs will think it's B, but it's actually an A-side hit.
Right, okay. I do remember watching some sort of a tutorial or something where players were stacked up there, but couldn't remember what it was. In the end, MVP, they push themselves down the drop room and get a 2 for 2. The A-bomb site's still not secured, though, for MVP. They want to get that bomb planted. They still actually need to get across as well. The thing is, though, they have got some utility that's going to keep Grayhound at bay, and Grayhound don't really have themselves any utility to get back in here.
That utility is all gone. It's all just going to go down to the gunfights right now as Glow's going to come out on top of one, but Molt is able to slip to the side of the APC. It's all down to a 1-on-2. Solo, MVP just took way too long to get on the A-bomb site. Solo has the bomb, so he can move around accordingly.
He's gotten out.
Yeah, I mean, they used all their Molotovs, but they didn't collapse on the bomb site fast enough. By the time the Molotovs faded out, they were nowhere near getting the bomb plant down. Yep. They were nowhere near good post-plant positions. And you can see Grayhound just come out en masse, get the kills that they need, and now force Solo into a 1-on-2. The very least is that there's no kits on the board for the CTs to play with. Solo only has to defend for 30 seconds. Only.
Well, it's going to take 10 seconds for Grayhound to get across and try and set themselves up. Like I said, they don't have much to go for the retake with.
They've got to go fast.
And Solo is holding by Chicken Coop. So if he just sits here and waits and bides his time, he could come away with a round victory. Still needs to buy a little bit longer, but Grayhound have not yet checked him. He does get rid of Dexter now. Malta in the 1-versus-1, but Solo, he hits the shot. And MVP, they find another clutch. It's the perfect timing for them as well. Grayhound, the money is in all sorts of shambles.
Yep, they're going to have to go on armor and pistols, and they've relied on the easy 75s before. They're going to have to rely on one more time to try to stop just these constant rounds coming in from MVP. And that was looking like a Grayhound round, but Solo, he makes the correct play, and then just a beautiful 1-on-2. What more can you say?
Not a whole lot. Grayhound, they still have a little bit yet to say in this map. This one is going to be an eco. They'll get the buy through in the next. And MVP, they're not out of the woods just yet, but they can definitely see the vegetation is thinning. They're getting closer. Only a few rounds away now from taking first seed into Dallas. Grayhound had a hard fight there on Cache. They rolled over Nuke. Now it looks like they might get rolled over on Cobblestone. Zeph starts the round off well for MVP.
And Solo might be walking into this stack if he's not careful. Whereas for the rest of the MVP members, they've already got the pick on B platform, so they're going to feel a little bit more confident going a little bit more aggressively because they know they've got the numbers advantage. But Solo's actually left a position open. And with the aggressive A-site holder Grayhound, they know that there's no one there. It's most likely going to be a B, and someone's going to have to make a risk. That's up to Dick Stacey to make the risk right now with a 5-7. Has spotted out one, lighting a grenade, gets the kill on Zine, and you'll be able to fall back and reposition. No T's ready there to trade. This could be Grayhound's moment to shine. Dick Stacey's going to be mollied off, though.
And he has to rotate back into the side, which means the crossfire is not really established here for Grayhound. It's just going to be an all-out brawl as MVP make their way in. Glow also goes down. 3-versus-4. HSK dropped there by Dick Stacey, but Solo and Zeph respond well. The bomb site not open yet, though. And again, Solo's forced into a 1-versus-2. This time, more difficult than the last. And Grayhound will come away with one, which puts MVP back just a step, but not too far. They still have the money to buy.
But this is also Grayhound's opportunity to strike back because this is the first time that they have actually a great buy coming into this half. They've also got the double AWP now, and Malta actually securing B platform is going to be very critical for Grayhound securing A as well, because if you're unable to hold on to B plat and allow MVP to walk out, then Gratisfaction can't play these aggressive angles and just continually apply the pressure onto MVP. So a pivotal round for Grayhound, not as much for MVP, but MVP have let these opportunities slip away in the past, and they don't want to allow this one to slip away right now. Zeph, oh, he's crawled close, ever so closer. Dexter needs to be cautious.
He does have Gratisfaction close by, so if Dexter gets one here and then goes down, Gratisfaction might be able to trade out for him, but still, dangerous part to be playing here for Dexter, and he will back off quite wisely. The grenade's done a little bit of damage. He looks like he's just going to play the bait there for Gratisfaction, but in the end, HSK is too good. Now it's all on Gratisfaction. He has to fight his way out, and fighting out is indeed what he is doing. He gets 3 before going down. Gratisfaction very pleased with that one indeed. You can see pandering to the crowd perhaps a little bit, but one player left alive. It's Zine. He's still going to try and get this round in the favor of MVP PK.
Yeah, if there's a player that you could clutch it back for MVP, it would be Zine. He just needs to find 3 headshots, and the headshot machine of Korea, it's pretty easy for him, but he's just going to take a little bit of time, go to the bomb and reset. But what was that no-scope coming out from Gratisfaction? That's filthy. Well, it's disgusting.
That's just
why
what
we
you
call
expect from him, right? Sometimes he's going to step up and do it. Malta's got an AWP there as well. Was it double AWP actually for Grayhound? Must have been anyway. They're going to take it through to the next. Grayhound's not done just yet.
Yeah, just watch this no-scope and you'll realize exactly how filthy it is. So he does very well to move around, but like I said, it's just disgusting. It shouldn't be allowed, and that's why Gratisfaction's throwing his hands up, because he knows he shouldn't have gotten that one. That's going in the highlight reel for the Grayhound frag package, that's for sure. Yeah, and it also secures a round where now the CTs can start stabilizing their economy a little bit. MVP are actually on the pistols.
They are. So, maybe there is a story yet untold for this map. We still have a little bit of time here. 8 more rounds to go in regulation time. Plus this one. Aircast will hear all of those players dropping, and Malta obliges with a frag. A couple, in fact. Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy round here. Not sure what Malta's doing there.
Oh, that was really smart. So
he just doesn't want to let the AWP go.
Yep, so even if, say for example, he goes down on the cross, Zine, no opportunity for him to retrieve the AWP. The CTs know exactly where it is, and they can just retrieve it and keep their economy intact. So even if he did go down, a member would be there ready to retrieve it.
Yep. Just looked funny. Anyway, 13 still on the board there for MVP. They're not too far away, but Grayhound is nipping at their heels. Excuse the pun. MVP, maybe this is a time for them to change things up, go a little bit faster onto that B bomb site. They are starting to set things up. And not quite going so fast just yet, but Zeph has crept his way out onto platform.
He's taking a lot of damage from the Molotov, and he's going to be forced back a little bit. Oh, Malta, he's coming out. He's coming fast and aggressive. Zeph. Oh, Zeph is not looking. Malta has been able to swindle his way into his position, but he's no Gratisfaction. Can't land the quick flick. And Urkaz, he's trying to lurk his way through the edge of the smoke, but Zine will not allow him to do so. It's a 2-on-4. Dexter coming through the smoke. How sharp is Zine? The only way that you can kill him for Grayhound is that if he's shot by HSK.
I'm not so sure how that has occurred, but in the end, Gratisfaction now, the 1-on-3 ahead of him, a massive crossfire set up on that B bomb site. This is a monumental task ahead of him.
He knows where HSK is after HSK was jumping up, so CZ Spray going to come forward, but he's taking a lot of damage.
There's no time for him either. He doesn't have a smoke. He just has to get on this defuse and sit it. MVP PK. Glow just decides to peek out. It wasn't even the double peek really for MVP, but there was a trade available had he gone down. And regardless, even the time was getting quite close. Up to 14 now, MVP. Grayhound can get a buy through though.
But if they lose this,
that's probably
it. I mean, you can't rely on the true rifles. You got to rely on the pseudo rifles then. And they
Double
were
AWP.
able to get one round. But this B site hold being weak means that MVP may be tempted to go there again. You can see it's the exact same setup to the previous round. And how are Grayhound going to be deflecting the danger this time around?
Well, there's one difference there as the molly goes down early from Grayhound and does not allow Zeph out onto the platform just as quickly. The push out on A as well, but Solo is definitely waiting for this one. He has given away his position, however. So that's a little bit less than ideal for him.
Oh, but they're coming onto the side. Zine once again flicking. More hits for him. He's just taking them all down right now. And there it is, B side open. And there's nothing you can do for Grayhound. They just got to back out and try to save.
Yeah, Gratisfaction and Dexter desperately needed to take these 2 guns through. They're not going to get a great buy regardless of taking 2 or 3 or 4 guns through, but it doesn't matter. They just need to take as much as they can into the next round and try to hope to fight for overtime now.
But there it is. MVP will bring up not only just match point, but the inaugural APAC Finals championship as well.
Yeah, they have done well so far, and they're just looking to close it out now and become the champions of the first season of APAC Pro League. Dexter and Gratisfaction, though, still hanging on to the AWP and the AK now, as Dexter does upgrade. It's not all over just yet, but it is looking like the twilight years of this match.
Yeah, and just, I think MVP, they're just going to go straight back into the B-bomb site. It's working inside. Once again, what can you say? What do you do when a guy just sprints through the smoke? And we've seen him time and time again this weekend. This man just comes through. Which I should technically say young man, because he's under 24.
Yeah.
Just able to just blast heads like that. Such a weapon inside MVP's arsenal, and I think he's really been the difference overall this entire weekend between most teams.
And since MVP have changed up their roster, he's definitely been the difference as well between the old MVP that we saw, which was pushing Tier 1 and was pushing those top tier teams, but never quite being able to overwhelm them. But now, definitely looking like the team that is #1 in the Asian region. For MVP, they're just 1 round away. HSK, a little bit overzealous perhaps there, running out onto drop, just wants to get things over and done with, and that's probably not the way you want to do it, but the A-bomb site very open right now, and it's all onto Gratisfaction again. We've seen him hit some good AWP shots, and he's got an opportunity to showcase that skill once more. Zeph, though, will surely get him. Zeph and Zion finding openings, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, actually the Mag 7 from Malta able to take down Zion, so now down to Zeph, 1 and 3 with the AWP. Mag 7 going to be playing close to the smoke. Bombs all the way over at APC, and Zeph might just decide to go the long way around, which is not going to be favorable because there's an AK waiting for him now.
Money's not great for MVP. That was a bit of a throwaway round, really. It felt like we just had HSK running out onto Plat, trying to get some frags, and then some aggression into the A-bomb side after that from MVP. But realistically, it didn't seem like there was a plan. It didn't seem like the MVP that we're used to here. They have given a freebie over to Grayhound.
No, it's not over just yet. Zeph can find maybe more picks. People... Oh, he spotted the gun barrel of one, so is he going to wait here is the real question. Oh, he's got the flick on Urcast. That's what the AWP is. That came so close. Dick Stacey, he rescues it for Grayhound.
Boy, oh boy, that was a ballsy peek from Dick Stacey, wasn't it?
Oh, he didn't know his gun barrel was spotted. He thought he was in the advantage, but if he knew what we knew, that looked suddenly a lot more scary than it had to be, but it is still around for Grayhound. They're able to consolidate the position maybe a little bit as MVP. Their money isn't too crash hot.
Yeah, but it's not too crash hot for Grayhound either. That last round was shockingly expensive towards the end. Zeph, even despite not winning the round, does do a lot of damage over to Grayhound. So MVP still in with a chance here. Grayhound haven't got a huge amount to play with.
Yeah, and this is going to all boil down to the B-bomb site one more time for MVP. They've got CZs, they've got grenades, just flashbangs mainly to work with right now. And Grayhound. Look, you can see how nervous they are. It's going to be a B-bomb site. It is going to be there. The CTs need to rotate. Dick Stacey, he's caught out in the open. Someone's got to kill him. He eventually should go down, will go down. Where's the rotations coming out? Urcast only with the MP9 trying to desperately clean up the stat player, but it's too late.
Gratisfaction on his own now, and he'll go down as well. A fitting victory there for MVP PK. The CZs have been so useful for them this weekend, and now they close things out in the Season 7 finals of the ESL Pro League APAC region. That's it from us upstairs. It's time to go down again to the analysts. We'll hear from Ben, Zoe, and Ian.
Thanks, Jordan. That was nice. You got everyone in there in the end.
Yep.
Ian Sniper Turner, congratulations on your prediction. As they say, even a broken clock is right 3 times a day.
Feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
Feels good to have finally made it. Always had the support of my family, my friends, Moe. Never backstabbed me.
Well, that's good.
Yet.
What about this MVP team? We doubted them for the first half of the weekend. We said mean things. We said, did they even turn up? What were they doing?
Speak for yourself, Ben. I had faith the whole time. I was just, I was being the entertainer.
To be fair, we came into this saying MVP should be the team who wins.
The #1
Theoretically,
team.
they're the best team who's here from the APAC region. Every time we see these guys overseas, they take down the Aussies and they come to Australia. Last time they struggled. Moe, finally, they've come to Australia and they picked it up.
Yeah, well, the only reason we say that is because of their inconsistency. But when they're on form like they were today, and throughout the competition, then you can't doubt them. And that's why you would say that they're favourites to take out the comp. It's just the only reason that we do doubt them and we do predict against them is because of their inconsistency. And they've known to, you know, sometimes, you know, just get blown out. They're blown out of the water, so.
Well, not the case today. Surprisingly, that Cage game was very, very close, 19-17.
Yeah.
Almost going into double overtime, and then Nuke was, you know, 16-10's okay, I suppose, but still felt quite one-sided to me.
I was very surprised that Cage went to the length that it did, and then for Nuke to be such a landslide, it just almost seemed like MVP was just having a breather. And then coming into this one, I mean, this was just random all over the place. I think we did see Grayhound hit A quite a lot on their T side, and I think MVP adapted fairly well. And then on their T side, Grayhound, on their CT side, the MVP guys were just hitting the B side very easily and getting away with it. And because the money was so poor for Grayhound, they couldn't afford the luxury of having utility to keep them off platform. Then they couldn't even afford flashbangs to push through their smoke wall execute. So unfortunately, it's just Grayhound was out of the match, always behind the 8 ball when it came to the economy.
Yeah, we did say that MVP had their B execute to fall back on, and Grayhound, as you said, they didn't have the utility to take the platform, and Zion, every time they ran that execute, would get 3 or 4, you know, Scream-style kills.
So heading into the group stage for IM Sydney, which is probably, what, 7-8 days away or something like that. Some of these guys are going to be heading home and then coming all the way back again, which is probably less than ideal. What are we thinking about the teams that we saw here this weekend who will be competing as part of IM?
Well, they're going to take it, you know, as a really good experience, as we mentioned, especially a match like this. I mean, it's only seeding, you know, for the Pro League finals in Dallas, but you know, this is the sort of matches that players like Dick Stacey can take away. Even MVP with their inconsistencies can take this event and, you know, and move into it and, you know, really perform well at IM Sydney. So all benefits all the way, you know, all around. So for Grayhound and for MVP, both teams will benefit greatly.
Do we think we've learned a lot about these two teams, Ian, coming into something like IM? Do we think that they're in a... Obviously, they've come out this weekend. They've come out on top. They've qualified for Pro League finals, which is a huge deal in and of itself. Should they be feeling good about themselves heading into IM groups?
Sure. I mean, MVP.
Yeah.
Totally can feel good about themselves. When they've really wanted to put a team to the sword, they have. Grayhound, look, for me, that last couple of maps there, probably not the normal Grayhound we would usually see, taking a lot more risk. But again, it was like a scrim, to be honest, in terms of being a seeding thing.
Maybe Urkos wanted to be the lowest seed to play against Forest.
Well,
you know?
We don't know.
He wants to play NIP.
It is his idol, if only they were there. But the thing is, like, for me, yeah, look, I don't think you can put much stock in this game. What did we learn? We learned Boot, MVP, Order, Grayhound. They're all going to IEM Sydney. Order, they need to sort out whatever's wrong with them at the moment because they're going to be going up against FaZe. We know that already. That's a huge deal. So their whole focus should be figuring out FaZe, figuring out their next step in their game plan and why they're losing some of these rounds that they shouldn't be losing. Yeah,
some surprises coming out this weekend. So let's go and take a bit of a recap of what we saw today. First off, it was Order up against Grayhound. Our first semi-final. We thought it was going to be quite close, but at the end of the day, Grayhound proved to be just too strong, coming through 2-0 and locking themselves in for Dallas. Then it was Tainted Minds up against MVP. Again, the question was, is the Korean team going to turn up? Is MVP going to show us the MVP that we want to see, that, to be honest, we deserve to see? Or is Tainted Minds going to be able to prove how good they are on land? They keep saying that they should be, or maybe we keep saying that they should be.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it doesn't pay off. And unfortunately, again, today, that wasn't the case. Perhaps they just weren't up for it. Perhaps MVP are just too strong, just being that level above. It's a big ask either way. Maybe they felt... I know Moe doesn't feel this way. Do you feel that Tainted were hard done by having to verse MVP, even though they came through their group in top seed?
Yeah, I mean, not really. Not really. I feel like, obviously, any team had to verse MVP at some point, but I guess you could say, yeah, they missed out on a shot to Dallas because they didn't get to verse Grayhound first.
Yeah. But they also got to skip some relatively difficult games purely because the other Aussie team in their group struggled in game one.
Yeah, exactly. And that for me, that sucks. I would rather have seen those tougher showdowns. For Tainted Minds, at the end of the day, they got to verse the best team in the tournament. They lost pretty easily on that second map anyway, and there you go. That's all there is to say about it.
And then finally, we did actually go the full best of 3 there in the end, but Cobblestone was pretty easily won by MVP. They're going to pick up first seed. Grayhound going to take seed number 2. Both of these teams going to progress through to the ESL Pro League finals in Dallas, Texas, May 18 to 20. The first time we've ever been able to send teams from the APAC region over to Pro League finals. So that's very exciting. There's teams from Europe, teams from America. Normally you'd have to go play an NA Pro League or something like that, which is a huge commitment, particularly even to get into that and be able to push through. So this is a nice change, and hopefully, we're working towards that true global series of CSGO.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting is some of the players that were playing in the APAC Pro League finals here were over in North America trying to qualify for them by playing an entire season. So it's a great opportunity for APAC in general, and not just Australia, but Asia as a whole. And hopefully that we put on a great show and they can get some great results and we can keep those spots. So.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, keeping the spots. We're not going to get the spots if we go over to Dallas and we just absolutely come dead last. I think that's when someone will review the competition and say, what do we do for the quality of it? Yes, it's great to have a global game, but at the end of the day, if you're going to call it Pro League, it needs to have pro teams. So I think Grayhound and MVP, they can't just think this is going to be a holiday and they get to go versus some good teams and scrim against them on stream. It's going to be that you're a competitor now, you're in the Pro League, you need to put in a good effort or go home.
Yeah, Grayhound have a good track record recently going overseas. They put up a lot of upset results. And MVP have kind of struggled, but hopefully that's something that they can fix. But both these teams can do some damage for sure.
Yep. I can't help but feel that over the last sort of 12 to 18 months, there's been such growth within the Australian and Greater Asian region in terms of teams. We used to see teams from Asia do quite well. They'd certainly take down the Aussies, and then you'd always have Renegades. Sometimes Immunity would take it to them, and you get something out of there. But finally, it feels like we're getting to a point where it's gone from 2 to 3 to 4, almost 5 teams starting to take it to them here. And then when you add in the likes of, Tyloo, MVP, all these other teams in the Asian region, it truly feels like we are getting to a point where the APAC CSGO as a whole is going to be able to hold their own.
Yeah, well, APAC is improving at a fast rate. The more experience that we have in those competitions overseas, the better we're going to get, right? As well as that, you have teams that are starting to play this full time, whereas we didn't have that luxury 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even a year and a half ago. It is only a handful of teams, but that's not too bad. You can't expect everyone to be able to play it full time, but in saying that, it's definitely benefited us, and you're going to start seeing more. Yeah, it would be nice, but more and more upsets overseas. And I think this actually is a flow-on effect from Asian CS, because they actually started to really invest that money and time into CS before Australia did, and we kind of followed suit.
Yeah, so I guess you could say like early CSGO days, we started out #1 Australia. We were trying harder than them, but then again, at the end of the day, they weren't really into CSGO back then. Since then, they've just come into CSGO with just the China money. Everything has just come their way, and they've just had this huge growth, and that's why teams like MVP are ahead of us now. Tyloo, Vici Flash, whatever. On their day, they're up there with Renegades, Greyhounds, and Order and Tainted Minds. So we're starting to lag behind a little bit now, but then again, we're starting to pick it up because of those salary teams and a bit more international experience, and we'll just have to see how we go.
Yeah, that's right. And we do benefit from that as well, because, you see Australian teams flying over to Asia all the time and taking part in those opportunities.
Yeah.
So it benefits APAC as a whole.
That's all we need, just the opportunity.
Exactly. Well, we're certainly getting there, gents. A very big month of CSGO action for the greater APAC region coming up for you. So many of these teams competing at IEM Sydney in a couple of weeks from now. 2 teams going through to Dallas. A huge congratulations to both MVP and Grayhound Gaming. Thank you very much for everyone on the desk, everyone in attendance, all our teams, players, and management. Thank you to everyone at home for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll see you at Dallas.
Work work out. And speaking of aggressive, there's Gratisfaction with enough. Constantly trying to find the opening AWP pick for his team, which is certainly something that will help Grayhound out. And he's going to hit Hats with a nice... There usually is one that Smoke... Normally, you don't worry about this sort of angle. They B-hop across, but still Grat's too sharp.
Really that many players that are actually going to rotate. He'll get the kill onto Dexter. Dixdacy's gone down as well, and imagine he's managed to get so much value out of that position, but is it going to be enough? There's still players on the site here. The bomb needs to go down now for Order, and Malta holding strong. He gets them all.
Antics. You can already see that Order aren't as keen to cross it. They do flash, but still.
As is chiming in still from short. Had a good pistol round so far. Now it's all onto Hats, and he needs a headshot, but Dexter will be he needs to be the one to try and find something. But look at this position from Dexter. It's just Grayhound have out-positioned Order so simply. There's nothing you can do there if you are Order. And 16 left.
I don't think they'll be expecting this out as push.
Well, yes, definitely is not. So Malta gets the free kill.
Geez.
Another one onto a man.
Move off from it. Still has eyes on that bomb as well. And there's the first kill. Sicko's right there, but 60 HP.
Should clutch it out, he does. Sicko just can't.
And try and play for overtime. It's a situation where you've got to fight out every single round. That's a great start for Grad. He's going to stay here and hold strong as well. Dodges the flashbang, goes back for more.
Well, they might just be playing for overtime at...
It's at one.
No, is there's another one below him as well. Alistair should be a free kill here. Sicko will take the peek. Dexter can win that duel as well. That was dangerous, risky in fact. You should know where that final player is. That door just closed on him, and Dexter, he's going to defuse in the smoke. EMAG, please. EMAG's not going to be able to do it. What?
Here, all the information coming out from Banana. Ofnu going to go huge, get two. Zep finding int on the side. Ofnu finds a third, cannot get a fourth to the other one.
Oh no, Zuzi's going to deny this as well. This is all over. This is an absolute disaster for MVP. They're trying to look for the kill. More damage has been done.
Holy
Zuzi.
moly! For Tainted, Burn now switching that through. Utility out, smoke here. Zuzi will be the first. That HSK's just too good, three, but...
That's the apartment position, and he should be able to get a kill here. There it is. Yam's completely blinded off. I just love how he drops the smoke grenades. Any apartments player really should have taken note of how Zion plays.
Olu looking for the pick here, and we'll find it. Ofnu falls. It's Glow on the side, and with the wraparound, they'll be entering. He's playing in the back. He picks Zeus. Will he find a second? Yam will fall to him as well. A third. No, that kill on Burn, but Ians will finish. Glow on the flank. That's one. That's two. That's three. And an easy close. You pick up Glow and then look for Solo when he spots him there.
This is so sick coming out from Burn, but oh no! What is that turnaround? Burn! Oh, he always plays it perfectly. He does, but he can't get the kills.
Down through the ramp, it's Zion on the aggression out the smoke. Picks Ins and Zuzi, looks for uppers. Glow find closing that out. Yam spotted by Zion, who's playing on the train. In the middle, he'll get Zuzi as well. Will he get a third? No, that'll be Zeph challenging first. Zion will close it out now.
But it feels like this one may be a little bit too far gone because Zion, they've got really good angles they cover with the AWPs off. And you've just got brilliant riflers because Zeph is just going to die for the T side right now because they found one. They know Zuzi's on the other side. Zuzi has to throw the best Molotov of his life to stop the defuse. Zeph is going to be sticking it. He's going to be holding on to it. Zuzi, you need to be pushing. He hasn't pushed. It's 1-1. This is not favorable for MVP. Solo's got to go absolutely huge right now.
Well, he's stepping up. He's got the backup of his Incent AC. Solo very low on HP, but still managing to fight and get some frags as well. Gratisfaction goes down. M4 here, but the flashbang is good and sold.
And what you do is a T-side Glow's just going to walk into it. Door clock barely missed it because of the flashbang. They're going to be challenging him at the moment. They're coming out to the A-bomb side.
Yeah, but one by one, this is not how you want to challenge Gratisfaction. He's just going to take you all down. He took a lot of HP off HSK and
they will be boxed out. And Zion, actually the flashbang hitting him in the face. But oh, what a perfect counter flashbang coming out from the single
player to deal with. And he'll be able to deny the bomb plant. No one's cleared it.
Yeah, and oh, no, takes down the vent player as well. Zeph the Khalil. It's not the most...
We are heading into the late stages of this first half. We've been saying there's still time for them to come back and get some rounds here, but it's really not looking likely at this point. Grayhound just maybe the drop down design decided to contest it. But Glow, his arm's going to be spotted out. Lots of damage done. Dexter, that nade, I don't think it's good enough. No, it is good enough. Stacey needs to come up with the kill, and he does. Just only able to hit the leg shot, and oh, what a flick on the stop.
I'm glad to see that because he needed the A4 eventually. Solo, this is why H-Banks need to be good from the T side, but here it is. Here comes the Mag 7 spray down. Zion's here as well. Zion gets taken down, but the Mag 7, it's getting a read of what's going on. After hearing this from Dexter, flashbang versus flashbang, but Zeph with a FAMASA close range is able to get two. With the assistance of Solo, might be able to find more. He will be fadeaway shots.
But in the end, HSK is too good. Now it's all on Gratisfaction. He has to fight his way out, and fighting out is indeed what he is doing. He gets three, but
he eventually should go down, will go down. Where's the rotations coming out? Urquhart's only with the MP9 trying desperately to clean up the stat player, but it's too late.
Gratisfaction on his own now, and he'll go down as well. A fitting victory there for MVP PK. The CZs have been so useful for them this weekend, and now they close things out in the Season 7 finals of the ESL Pro League APAC region. That's it from us upstairs. It's time to go down again to the analysts. We'll hear from Ben.